Thanks for joining us on the Morning Blend. Very special guest joins us today, Katie Hubbard, who is the Sparrow Health and Wellness Coordinator from Sparrow Health System. So you've got a really important topic we're going to discuss today. Tell us why cybersecurity forum that Sparrow is sponsoring for seniors is so important.
Well, identity theft, similar types of crime, cybercrime is becoming so much more common these days, and seniors especially can be a target for just as a more vulnerable section of the population.
Right.
So we want to kind of help them enjoy being able to shop online, enjoy social media for connecting with friends and with family members, but do so safely and making sure that they're able to protect their information and their identity safely while they're online.
Absolutely. And it's even coming by phone now. I see these scams by text. And so then you think, boy, this person really must know me, and it makes you really think twice.
Yeah. Yeah, and they use a credible organization. Sometimes it's this is a tax scam, or it could be anything.
Right.
So
it's really scary the direction things are going. So I'm really happy that Sparrow is tackling this topic. Where can people get more information?
So they can visit sparrow.org/the event calendar and look for the March 12th date listing, and it has information on the program. They can register and sign up for free there as well.
Okay, wonderful. So you held a security session for seniors last year too. How did that go?
Last year we did a self-defense seminar. We offered 2 seminars with the help of our Sparrow security officers. So they did a wonderful job. People are actually able to practice the hands-on techniques, and they really enjoyed that. So not just the learning the information of how to protect yourself, but how to get away if someone grabs your purse or catches you by the arm.
Right. So, oh, I love that you guys did that. Tell us about other programming that Sparrow has for seniors.
So Sparrow offers Lifetime, which is a free healthy living program for adults 55 and older. There's a free exercise classes, lunch with the doctor programs, programs like the cybersecurity seminar that we're offering for seniors.
Right.
It's free for adults 55 and older in mid-Michigan to join, and then you would get more information on programs like this.
Wonderful. When is that cybersecurity forum that Sparrow is holding?
So that's next week, Tuesday, March 12th at the Michigan Athletic Club in East Lansing at 2 p.m.
Okay.
FBI Task Force Officer Ken Zimmerman with the Detroit Cyber Squad is leading that program.
Oh, wow. All right. Sounds fascinating. Love that Sparrow is doing this, so thank you for bringing all this information to us.
Thank you for having me.
We've got all your information up on the screen. Sparrow.org/event calendar is where you can get information, or you can call 800-772-7769. That's all of our time for now on the Morning Blend. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great day.
This Friday evening, the Messiah Lutheran Church in Holt is hosting a Lenten fish fry. Guests can enjoy dinner and a homemade piece of pie and conversation. It runs from 4:30 to 6:30. We'll have more local events and things to do right here on Fox 47. If you have an event you want to share, send us an email aroundtown@fox47news.com. Well, the Michigan Lottery has played a big role in funding education in our state, which is why it has teamed up with Fox 47 News to recognize excellent educators statewide. Here's this week's Excellence in Education Award winner.
Kevin Bidwell won an Excellence in Education Award. Kevin, I have a letter from your nominator, and it says, "I'm hoping to recognize a teacher that heavily influenced my path in life. I'm just one example, and I know of so many former classmates who have had and are going on to become engineers, welders, or related fields." Why do you do what you do?
Well, it's make a difference in a young person's life. Oh, it's amazing. Those kids work hard every day. You know, they work hard for what they achieve, and it shows in their work. I mean, it's great to have them to show that they're successful in the life that they, or the career that they chose.
Well, Kevin receives a $1,500 check from the Michigan Lottery, and his class at Heritage High School receives a $500 grant. Excellence in Education Awards, sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, providing more than $22 billion to public education since 1972.
If you know of an excellent educator in your district who you'd like to see win this award, head to our website, fox47news.com. You can find the nomination form under the News tab. Just click on Excellence in Education. Well, here's a question for you. How long does it take for a herd of elk to cross the road? I swear this isn't a riddle because it turns out it actually takes quite a while. The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife releasing these stunning images of some 700 elk crossing Red Pepper Road in the Grand Ronde Valley. State officials say March is the most challenging month for big game trying to survive the winter. This season has been particularly hard because of the heavy snow and freezing temperatures. Wow, that's pretty
just keep
impressive.
on going.
Yeah, like the
700, huh?
Stop. Yeah, they're just going.
That's
700.
almost as many as we have in the entire state of Michigan. I think the last survey was about 1,200 or something
wow.
like that.
So maybe they're all heading out to Colorado, eh?
I think they all just stay in Atlanta.
So, Jim, we know we're on a warming trend, but today's still kind of chilly.
Today's still kind of chilly. That being said, it's still a little bit warmer than yesterday, and we continue that warm up right into the weekend. Should be around 40 degrees by Saturday. Right now, though, still chilly, and yes, there is still a little bit of snow in the area, even if it's not showing up on satellite and radar. A couple spots still have been reporting the snow showers this morning. You can see snow still being reported in Marshall and Coldwater. Hillsdale also reporting some snow showers at 13 degrees. Otherwise, just seeing cloudy skies across most of the area. Of course, with a little clearing earlier, Lansing did drop down to 5 degrees. Winds, they're still only about 5 to 10 miles per hour in many locations, but that's enough to give us a wind chill of -6 in Lansing. So still want to bundle up this morning. The good news is that warm up is on the way. Today's high 21 degrees. Wind chill should stay in the single digits, but above 0 today. That's coming with a mix of sun and clouds and a few snow showers. 1-800 Hanson's Weather Kit this morning is Heaven of Springport.
You know, I feel like a kid waiting for Santa, waiting for this warm up.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so much anticipation.
So much anticipating to hit 40 degrees.
To hit 40 degrees.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, like a Christmas gift or something. Yep. All right, thank you, Jim. And after the break, unlikely heroes. One family saying after a close call, they now owe their lives to one of their furry friends.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
State police say snow, whiteouts, and slick roads were factors in a series of crashes where at least one Michigan man was killed. It happened on US 131 in Allegan County. Police say a 65-year-old didn't notice traffic was stopped because of a crash. He drove into the back of a school bus carrying nearly 20 students. At least one student was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and at least 2 people were hurt in another crash involving a dozen vehicles on I-96. No word on their condition this morning. At least 12 people were hurt in this pileup involving nearly 100 vehicles in Ohio. This drone video shows snow and ice-covered Route 8 in Hudson. Cars littered the roadway. The fire chief says one car spun out of control, setting off a chain reaction. All 12 people were taken to the hospital, but police say none of the injuries are believed to be serious. Those crashes all being blamed on icy roads. Well, if Governor Gretchen Whitmer's proposed 45-cent gas tax hike increase is improved, it would make Michigan's gas tax the highest in the country. According to GasBuddy.com, the average driver would pay an extra $270 per vehicle a year. But for some businesses, like trucking companies, the adding cost each year would be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. ALTL Incorporated in West Michigan says diesel fuel is one of their biggest expenses. The company hauls products to the East Coast. About a third of its fueling is done here in Michigan, and the company's president says he would consider making changes if the proposal is approved.
I'm always going through Toledo-Perrysburg anyway, so I could just switch my primary fueling location to that location and stop fueling in Michigan altogether.
Governor Whitmer says her proposal would generate an additional $2 billion to fix Michigan roads. ALTL says the proposal would cost his company about $25,000 more per month and $300,000 a year just in fuel expenses. Well, the feds have a warning for parents this morning. That's to stop using certain makeup products sold at Claire's stores after samples of it tested positive for asbestos. We first told you about this story in 2017 after a mother's investigation revealed toxic chemicals in some of their makeup. The Food and Drug Administration ran its own tests after that and found asbestos in 3 Claire's products. Now the FDA says it's issuing the warning to stop using the products because Claire's refuses to recall them. Claire says it removed the products identified from store shelves out of an abundance of caution. The company also says the FDA's test results mischaracterize fibers with asbestos. Well, dozens of workers at a General Motors plant are making one last effort to save the plant before it closes for good. The automaker's last Chevy Cruze is expected to come off the line today. More than 150 people, including employees, politicians, and people living in Lordstown, Ohio, getting together for a group photo. They held signs that read, "GM, we invested in you. Now it's time to invest in us." The Lordstown plant is one of 5 GM announced it would idle last year. The group says it plans to send the picture to GM's CEO, Mary Barra, to let her know the community continues to support them and wants a product built there. Well, researchers are getting ready to use the Mackinac Bridge to test a sensor that can help identify maintenance needs to the Mighty Mac. The sensors are powered by the vibrations from traffic. The first 20 prototypes were installed in 2016. The next step is to add 2,000 of them over the summer. Officials say it's a cheaper way to collect information on bridge conditions. Well, the first woman to publicly accuse Larry Nassar of sexual assault will publish 2 books later this year. Rachel Denhollander will publish both a memoir and a children's book. The titles of the books are What is a Little Girl Worth and How Much is a Little Girl Worth? Denhollander's memoir will go in depth on the impact the abuse had on her and how she gained courage to say something. The children's book will be aimed at teaching kids they have value while helping them develop confidence. Both books are expected to be out in September. Well, it's estimated up to 50 million people have to deal with something they most likely would not like to admit, and that's having bad breath. Meredith Wood breaks down some of the common things you're doing to make your breath smell worse.
Do you constantly worry that you're walking around with a bad case of morning breath? Are you always trying the sniff test on yourself? The good news is you're not alone. According to the Academy of General Dentistry, up to 80 million people suffer from halitosis or chronic bad breath. And here are the top 10 reasons why your breath probably stinks. Number 1, you aren't brushing and flossing regularly. 2, you're eating or drinking something smelly. 3, too much sugar. Bacteria in your mouth thrives on the sweet stuff. Number 4, you're going keto. Low-carb, high-protein diets force your body into a process that's called ketosis. One way those ketones then exit your body is through your mouth. 5, you breathe through your mouth. Doing this dries out your mouth, causing even worse bad breath. 6, you use medications that dry out your mouth. Number 7, your nose is stuffed or you have allergies. These things can also lead to dry mouth. Number 8, smoking or chewing tobacco. 9, drinking alcohol, again, drying out your mouth. And number 10, you have an underlying medical condition. Sometimes bad breath can signal something more serious. If you worry that might be you, make sure to check with your doctor. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Well, Kohl's is combining retail therapy and working out soon when they'll be partnering up with gyms. The plan is to make 10 of their stores smaller and lease out the extra space to Planet Fitness. The announcement came yesterday, and they're hoping to open up the revamped locations this year. If things go well, the split could happen at even more stores. Kohl's CEO says this is just the latest effort to court customers. Last month, they partnered with WW, or formerly Weight Watchers, and last year they teamed up with supermarket chain Aldi. Like many brick-and-mortar stores, Kohl's is facing pressure from Amazon and other online rivals, along with growing discount chains like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Well, we have new information on that deadly crash involving a self-driving car from Uber. An Arizona prosecutor says the company is not criminally liable in the crash because the video from the collision does not accurately show what happened. The video from March of last year shows a woman getting hit by the car as she pushed a bicycle across the street. In the video, Uber's human backup driver appears to be looking down before the crash happens. Experts say the vehicle sensors would have seen the woman and braked before impact. The SUV was driving at around 40 miles per hour when the crash happened. A legal truce has been reached between the state of Colorado and a cake shop that refused service to a transgender woman. According to Colorado's Attorney General, Masterpiece Cake Shop and the state have agreed to end their litigation. The shop made national headlines 7 years ago when it refused to bake a wedding cake for a same-sex couple because of religious objections. The cake shop eventually won in the Supreme Court, but it later refused to make a cake for a transgender woman, which led to administrative action from the state's Civil Rights Commission. Now the commission will dismiss that move in return for the shop tossing out its federal court case against the state. But the agreement does not prevent the transgender woman, Autumn Scardina, from pursuing a legal claim on her own. Well, in Florida, a pet cat is being hailed a hero after saving her owners from carbon monoxide poisoning. Last week, Paul and Leona Jones went out for an early dinner and came home in the middle of a rainstorm. Like a lot of cars, theirs has a push-button ignition, and in their rush to get inside, Leona forgot to push it off. So 8 hours later, Bella the cat started to meow as the toxic fumes spilled into their home. Leona managed to call 911, and although advised to get out of the house, she could not move her husband. Fortunately, firefighters arrived and discovered the dangerous source. Rescue crews administered oxygen to the couple and the cat, who were all rushed to the hospital. The couple says there's no doubt Bella, the cat, saved their lives.
If she hadn't cried and hadn't woke him up, we would not have known, and we would have just slept through it.
The Joneses have since installed carbon monoxide detectors and put up a warning sign in the garage. The couple said they're both still having residual confusion and some muscle weakness. Doctors said that's to be expected. And thankfully, they're both okay. My cats only meow when they're hungry, so, you know, take that for what you will. But we're going to turn things over now to Jim for a check on the weather. Jim, we know warm-up is on the horizon, but not today.
Yeah, the warm-up's on the horizon. It's going to be a couple days before we do start to warm up. Today is another chilly day, but on the horizon this morning, we also have a little bit of sunshine as we take a live look out over campus. Most clear skies have led to cooler temperatures in the Lansing area there. 5 degrees right now in Lansing. North of Lansing, Elma now at -2. It is 11 still in Charlotte because of some cloud cover in place. 10 in Jackson, 13 currently in Hillsdale. Factor in the winds. Well, there's not a ton of wind out there, but the areas that are dealing with the winds, it's about 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's enough to make it feel like it's -6 degrees right now in Lansing. Also still a little bit of snow from time to time this morning. Most of that's still near the lake shore. Even though it's not showing in a few places near Jackson and Hillsdale, still have been reporting some snow showers this morning. We'll deal with the occasional snow shower this morning. Get a little break from it this afternoon, but the snow is expected to perk back up once we hit the later evening hours. Temperature-wise today, we're a little warmer than yesterday, topping out mainly around 20 degrees, and we continue that warming trend right into the weekend. Saturday's high temperature, 41 degrees, 42 on Sunday. Looks like Sunday, though, a little bit of a rainy day, and there could even be a couple snowflakes Sunday night into Monday. Only a couple snowflakes that you should worry about through today. Again, just a few passing through around the middle of the day. Then we get a break in that activity towards the early afternoon. Could break out into a little sunshine as well before that snow starts to perk back up heading into the overnight. Looks like we are dealing with those bands of snow heading into the overnight tonight, but most of this activity really staying in the overnight as we get into Thursday morning. All that snow starting to wind down. We start to clear out a little bit on Thursday. We'll start off partly cloudy. Some cloud cover is expected to push back in later in the day. This comes as a system passes just off to our south. You'll notice some snow in areas like Peoria, Cedar Rapids. But that snow really does stay out of our area. Heading into Friday, we're again snow-free. We're again warming up, and we again see a decent amount of sunshine through the day. So today's high temperature, 21 degrees. That's coming with a mix of sun and clouds. Some snow showers around from time to time. We'll keep some snow showers around from time to time tonight as well. Otherwise, a little bit of clearing, and that little bit of clearing allows us to cool off once again. So a low of 7 degrees tonight. Tomorrow's high temperatures, well, they're in the mid-20s, and even better tomorrow, we have very light winds and no snow in the forecast with a little bit of sunshine. A little bit of sunshine again on Friday and even warmer. 37 degrees is your high on Friday, 41 by Saturday. Saturday night, we are tracking some rain showers. Also, don't forget to set those clocks forward 1 hour by Sunday night. Sunset getting closer to 8 o'clock. Of course, sun not really coming up until close to 8 o'clock as well. Rain showers around on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday of next week, looks like temperatures stay more spring-like than what we've been dealing with lately, but those are still slightly below average.
But we'll take them. Like you said, it's
yeah, we'll take slightly below average rather than 30 degrees below average like it has been the last couple of days.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Jim. And still to come, looking for a reason to indulge? Well, America's favorite cookie has the perfect reason to celebrate.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
If you're looking for an excuse to indulge today, I'm going to suggest grabbing a package of Oreos because today is National Oreo Cookie Day. America's favorite cookie made its debut in 1912 in New York City. Since then, it has undergone a few minor name and recipe changes, so pick your favorite, whether that's double stuffed, thins, or one of the many inventive flavors released each year. If you need a glass of milk to dunk the cream-filled chocolate cookies, well, hey, you do you. And you know, I do love the mint thin Oreos.
I like the regular ones, some peanut butter on top.
Oh, I'll have to try
that's the best
that.
way.
Have not tried that.
Yep.
So, Jim, I know we've got warm-up coming. I'm going to hold on to that, but maybe not today.
Yeah, warm-up's on the way. By the time we get to the weekend, we're up around 40 degrees, but believe it or not, our average high temperature today, 40 degrees. We crossed that barrier. We're not even going to be close to that number today, though, about half of it. But at least we're not as cold as up north. Right now it's negative 23 degrees in Pelliston. Negative 13 is your current temperature in Marquette. Now, they have seen some clearing up there. That is why they are so chilly. As far as our area, it's been kind of a mix of clouds and some places even seeing a few snow showers still. Other spots that have cleared out, though, still very chilly. So it's 5 degrees right now in Lansing, 11 in Charlotte, 10 is the current temperature in Jackson. From time to time today, we will still deal with some scattered snow showers. High temperatures, they make it into the low 20s. Factor in the winds, we feel like we're in the single digits, but above zero today. A little bit more snow in the forecast tonight, and as we've been mentioning, that much anticipated warm-up on its way for the weekend with high temperatures climbing into the low 40s.
Starting to look like spring, thank
Finally.
goodness. All right, thank you, Jim. And we're throwing it over to the Morning Blend. We'll be right back here at 8 o'clock. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
Our friend Ray Garcia with VMG Construction joins us. Good morning.
Good morning.
You brought a guest with you today.
Yes, I did. I brought Brian Solto. He's a customer of mine, and we did a project for him in the basement and stamped concrete and concrete patio.
An amazing project, because we actually saw, we have some pictures. Let's take a look at this. What did you do for him?
Well, he started his basement, and we helped finish it. We did some framing, drywall, lighting, some tile work, paint, and pretty much finished it.
And this happened, you were telling me off camera, Brian, that you were kind of thinking, oh, I can do this myself.
Yeah, that's where I kind of started. It was like a 2-3 year project, and you start realizing that maybe I took off a little too much than I could chew type deal, and it was a little overwhelming, and it was a project that it really was moving very slowly. So when I heard about Ray and VMG, he came over, and I was super impressed at how, kind of took charge. He gave his opinion, and just really got the project moving.
Well, there's so many companies out there. Why did you choose Ray?
Well, the deal was that he was very competitive with his pricing, and it was the customer service. I think you meet people and you get people's advice, and they come look at your projects. But Ray is one of those guys that you can tell he stands behind his product, and he was really honest. If it was going to be more expensive, then he'd tell it. He was honest about it. If it was cheaper, it was one of those good.
And it was done quickly, right? You said that it took you a couple of years to do what you did, and it took him, what, you said 90 days?
Yeah, I was kind of the joke of my neighbors that, is this done yet? Is this done yet? And so it was really nice. And I know my wife was is this thing ever going to get done type deal? But it's funny how it kind of just rolled right into, after I got a relationship with Ray and, the work, knowing they did good quality work, we need our backyard done. So, and it's one of those things that...
The basketball court, we were showing pictures of the basketball court. That, you're the most popular neighbor in the neighborhood, I bet, right now.
Oh, yeah. No, having that in our subdivision is, it's really fun to see the kids. They're at a fun age to enjoy it, get them outside. There's so much electronics nowadays, and they get stuck inside. So it's really nice having that, to see them have fun and, now they're kids and get to enjoy it.
Well, Ray, we're going to put your information on the screen. VMG Construction, VMGremodeling.com, or 574-4835. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Today on Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
Exactly 1 month after flooding forced the people of Portland to evacuate, there's new fear as ice jams once again threaten the Grand River. Plus, a healthcare hack that could impact thousands, including you. We have what you need to know. And a suspect in a deadly shooting in Lansing over the weekend identified. Now, police asking for the public's help.
Live, local. Fox 47 Morning News at 7 starts now.
Good morning and welcome to Fox 47 Morning News. I'm Julie Williams, joined by meteorologist Jim Holton. Jim, I know I keep saying it, but it was another cold morning out there.
Another cold morning. We'll have one more cold morning tomorrow, but after that, we are really starting to warm up. And today, we are a little bit warmer than the last couple of days. There's some improvement in sight. Certainly when we take a look at the satellite and radar picture, not as much snow as we have been dealing with lately. Still, you can see those bands of lake effect snow near the lake shore, and occasionally a couple of those snow bands have been pushing into mid-Michigan. A few places have still been reporting the light snow this morning, such as Hillsdale and Marshall, 13 degrees there. It's 11 in Charlotte and Jackson. 6 degrees, though, in Lansing, where there has been some clearing. Right now sitting at -1 in Elma. Thankfully, winds not as strong as this morning as they have been lately, and overall today the winds are a little bit lighter, but still it feels like -3 in Lansing. 5 is your current wind chill in Hillsdale. High temperatures today, they cross that 20-degree threshold. That's coming with a mix of sun and clouds. You factor in the winds, which at times this afternoon are still up around 10 or 20 miles per hour. We do still feel like we're in the single digits most of the afternoon. Occasional snow showers today. Your 1-800-Hanson's weather kid, heaven of Springport.
You know it's been cold when we cross the 20-degree threshold, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, we're happy that we got to 20.
Yes.
We're even happier when we get to 40 this weekend.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jim. And it's been exactly 1 month since people living on Water Street in Portland had to evacuate their homes due to flooding from ice jams in the Grand River. The city sent out the evacuation notice just after midnight last month, and now an old worry has returned for people living there. The National Weather Service has issued a flood advisory for the area. The city says the beginning of this month showed promise as a significant amount of ice melted and the flow in the Grand River improved. But the below freezing temperatures have caused new ice to form and move downstream. That has caused renewed fluctuations in the water levels in the Portland area. City Manager Tuck Gorman is urging people to stay vigilant and be prepared to evacuate because of how unpredictable ice jams can be. Gorman also says the city has not been able to access the damage already done in the area because the water levels will not stop changing. The city says it is not expecting a bigger flood again like what they saw last month, but with how unpredictable ice jams are, the city is urging people to remain vigilant and be prepared to move for higher ground if necessary. Earlier this week, Portland City Council approved the appointment of a resource coordinator to help people affected by the flooding. The city says the best option for those in need of assistance is to call 211. The information will then be sent to the city to identify and set up available resources. The flood advisory in Portland is in effect until later this afternoon, and that, of course, could certainly change as the day goes on. We'll keep tracking this story for you. Well, a data breach on a computer system that mails bills for some of the state's largest healthcare providers could impact you. McLaren Greater Lansing is just one customer of Wolverine Services Group. That company says someone hacked into its computer system last September and infected it with what's called ransomware. Wolverine Services Group says the hackers encrypted many of its records and demanded payment to restore the company's access. McLaren says things like names, addresses, dates of birth, social security numbers, insurance information, and medical records were included in the files encrypted during the ransomware attack. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan says about 150,000 of its customers were impacted. Wolverine Services Group says it started letting patients impacted by the breach know by mail in late December. It says the mailing will continue throughout this month. Wolverine Services Group says after an internal investigation, it believes those files were simply encrypted, saying there's no indication personal information was taken. Well, frustration, tears, and anger in Sacramento as protests erupt after California's top prosecutor says no charges will be filed against the officers who fatally shot Stefan Clark last year. John Lawrence has more.
A second probe into the officer-involved shooting of Stephon Clark, and the same end result.
That our investigation has concluded that no criminal charges against the officers involved in the shooting can be sustained.
The decision produced immediate backlash.
This is America, as Childish Gambino said. I want y'all to watch it. This is America. This is Sacramento, and this ain't as good as we can get.
Clark was shot at least 7 times by 2 officers last year in his grandmother's backyard. The 22-year-old was unarmed.
Anybody, I don't care where you policeman at, shoot a man in the back running from you, you should be fired. No retirement or nothing right there.
The report from the State Department of Justice makes critical points, including police helicopter audio describing Clark breaking into cars and video showing him advancing toward officers. The police also said they thought a flash of light they saw came from a weapon. Only his cell phone was found at the scene.
There's a young man who's no longer alive, with 2 sons who won't have a father, whose mother I just met with, who's grieving. Of course it was a tough call. These are all tough calls. It's never easy.
The U.S. Attorney's Office and FBI say they will investigate to determine whether Clark's federal civil rights were violated. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Right now, police are trying to figure out why a Lansing man was on railroad tracks before being hit and killed by a train near downtown. It happened just before 10:30 yesterday morning in the area of Michigan Avenue and Hill Street. The 64-year-old man died at the hospital. No one on the train was hurt. Police have not yet released the man's name. We'll let you know when we get an update. And right now, police are also looking to slap the handcuffs on a man wanted in connection to a deadly shooting in Lansing. 20-year-old Kyvon Wells is wanted for open murder and 3 other felony charges. He's accused of being involved in a shooting at the Mill Pond Mobile Home Park on Lansing's south side last Friday night. 24-year-old Delano Hudson died from his injuries over the weekend. 2 other men were injured in the shooting, but are expected to survive. If you have any information on where Wells might be, call Lansing police. Well, Michigan, now joining nearly 24 other states in lawsuit, is challenging the Trump administration's new rules for the Title X family program. The White House announced new rules for the program, which funds family planning and health screenings. The rule changes could shift millions of dollars from Planned Parenthood to faith-based clinics. They also could have implications for county health departments who get Title X funding. In a statement, Attorney General Dana Nessel says tens of thousands of people in Michigan rely on those funds to get health care. She also says it would be irresponsible for Michigan to turn its back on this issue. Well, today marks the first day of Lent on the Christian calendar. It's also known as Ash Wednesday, and some parishioners in our area, like the ones at St. Mary Cathedral in Lansing, will receive the sign of the cross and ashes on their foreheads. Mass at St. Mary's is set for 8 a.m. and 12:05. There's also one later in the day at 5:15 tonight. Lent is 40 days long. People often use this time to pray, fast, or give something up ahead of Easter. And there's much more to come on your Fox 47 Morning News. After the break, a Massachusetts family takes the art of the snowman to a whole new level, all in an attempt to avoid their chilly chores. Plus, a medical breakthrough could make treatment more effective and accessible for those suffering from depression. And later, why did the elk cross the road? Well, we've got the answer. Stay with us.
And we are tracking a nice warm-up as we head towards the weekend. Still tracking a little snow this morning. I'll let you know how much, if any, to expect. I'll let you know all about that much-anticipated warm-up just after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
Well, depending on where you are this morning, you could be waking up to some sunshine. You could be waking up to some snow showers. It's lake effect snow, though, so really you could see some sunshine and some snow showers at the same time. It's just been that way over the last couple of days. Looking at a very similar forecast today. 6 degrees right now, though, in Lansing, so another chilly start to the day. And it's 11 in Charlotte and Jackson. Not a ton of wind around, but still enough to give us sub-zero wind chills in a few locations, such as the case in Lansing, where right now it feels like 3 degrees below zero. Now, the snow activity not as prominent as it has been over the last couple of days, but you'll notice those bands of snow still on the west side of the state, and occasionally we'll see those bands of snow drift into mid-Michigan. So we'll keep some on and off snow showers in the forecast throughout today, and once again, we do see some peaks of sunshine, and today ends up being just a few degrees warmer than yesterday, topping out more into the low 20s. Factor in the winds, we actually feel like we're in the single digits most of the afternoon, which is an improvement on yesterday. Your temperature trend over the next 7 days still showing that nice warm up by the time we get into the weekend. Temperatures either at or maybe even slightly above our average high temperature. Average high is now 40 degrees. We'll be in the low 40s both Saturday and Sunday. Future tracks still showing a couple snow showers pushing into our area towards the middle of the day, but I think all this starts to wind down this afternoon. We break out into some sunshine briefly before a little trough of low pressure crosses over Lake Michigan. That once again will perk up our snow activity, so we are dealing with some snow showers through the overnight. Most of us well under an inch of accumulation, but there could be some slick spots that develop for that Thursday morning commute. Otherwise, Thursday not shaping up to be such a bad day. We continue our little bit of a warm up. The winds are lighter on Thursday. We at least start out with some sunshine before the cloud cover rolls in towards the afternoon. But notice, not dealing with the snow showers on Thursday. Any snow activity stays well off to our south. Into your day on Friday, we again wake up to some sunshine, and it should be about 10 degrees warmer than Thursday as we start to approach that 40-degree mark for your high on Friday. But today we're about half that number, topping out closer to 20 degrees. That's coming with a mix of sun and clouds, a couple snow showers from time to time. Winds this afternoon still could gust close to 20 miles per hour, so we do keep the wind chills in the single digits for a lot of today. Low temperatures tonight back down to the single digits. Winds die down though. Snow activity still around for a lot of the overnight. It's out of here by tomorrow. Tomorrow, 27 degrees for your high with a mix of sun and clouds. Winds much lighter tomorrow, and we're not talking snow on Thursday. We're not talking snow on Friday. By the time the weekend rolls around, it's not snow we're talking about. Instead, it's rain showers. High temperatures Saturday are in the low 40s. We're still in the low 40s on Sunday, but we do cool down a bit Sunday night into Monday, so it's still possible that we do see a few snowflakes early Monday, but otherwise, Monday and Tuesday not looking so bad with those high temperatures still close to 40 degrees and a fair amount of sunshine.
You said rain. I almost forgot what that was.
Yeah, we're going to have to break out the umbrella and everything this weekend, so be ready for that.
Great. Almost glad to hear that we've got rain.
Yep.
Not snow.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Jim. And a Massachusetts man and his kids took the art of building a snowman to a whole new level. Take a look at what now guards their house. It's a snow gorilla. It's at least 6 feet wide and 10 feet long. Kevin Willett and his kids brought it to life after Monday's snowfall. It was a distraction from shoveling. It was supposed to be a snowman, but it morphed into this life-sized gorilla. Willett says it does not have a name because he doesn't want his kids to become too attached to it. All right, very cool there. And after the break, the scary moment a father and son got more than they bargained for in a McDonald's Happy Meal. Now a word of warning for other parents when we come back.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, every day about 20 veterans take their own lives, but a new program is hoping to help save our military members. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to create a task force to help prevent veteran suicides. The force will focus on improving quality of life, offering grants to state and local governments, and reaching out to the most at-risk groups.
Our mission is to mobilize every level of American society to save the lives of our great veterans and support our heroes in need.
The new task force will be led by the Veterans Affairs Secretary. They have up to a year to submit their strategy. And new information this morning on the deadly tornado outbreak in the South. President Donald Trump approved a major declaration for Alabama where a tornado swept through and killed at least 23 people. The declaration frees up for federal funding for temporary housing, home repairs, and low-cost loans to cover uninsured property losses. The president says he'll visit Alabama this Friday to see the devastation firsthand. Well, the Food and Drug Administration has approved a ketamine-like nasal spray to treat severe depression. We told you last month the FDA was considering the move. The spray is meant to be available as a last resort when other medications fail. Ketamine is normally used as an anesthetic, but has also been abused as a party drug called Special K. A doctor with the FDA says there's been a need for additional effective treatments for treatment-resistant depression. The new nasal spray will be called Spravato. For safety reasons, it will only be administered by an approved healthcare provider in a doctor's office or medical clinic. Well, a story of caution for parents. A Wisconsin dad was anything but happy with the surprise his son pulled out of a Happy Meal from McDonald's. Take a look. Scott Diamond says his 4-year-old son found a razor inside the box. They bought the popular kids meal from a drive-through McDonald's in Columbus, Wisconsin, but didn't notice the razor until they got home.
I was very upset, very angry. I couldn't even figure out how it would even have gotten in there.
Police say surveillance video doesn't show how the razor got into the boy's Happy Meal. An investigation into what happened is currently underway. Well, an unwelcome guest was found up a tree in a West Hartford, Connecticut neighborhood yesterday morning. Animal control officers were called when a neighbor found this bear up a tree sleeping. The bear was awake by the time news crews arrived, but he was groggy and never showed any sign of aggression. According to the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, bears are not true hibernators and are known to come out in the winter months every once in a while. Experts recommend taking down any bird feeders and making sure garbage cans are inside of garages or sheds. And he's kind of smaller than I thought he would be. Just chilling out up there, taking a nap.
Taking a nap in a tree, just being a bear,
just
doing
being
bear
a bear,
things.
doing bear things. I kind of wish we had seen him climbing up there. I want to know what
fast
that looks
climbers.
like. Are they?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well they're groggy to wake up, but that's fair because so am I. So, Jim, we know today's going to be chilly. We've got warm-up coming though.
We should see a warm-up by the weekend today. It's a little bit of a warm-up. It'll feel a little nicer than yesterday. Believe it or not, average high temperature now up to 40 degrees. We will not come close to that number today. Your predicted high temperature is 21 degrees. And as far as this morning is concerned, it is still very chilly. 6 degrees in Lansing and St. John's. It is 12 right now in Charlotte. 11 degrees in Jackson. Much colder up north, though. Still sitting at negative 20 in Pellston, negative 13 in Marquette, negative 16 in Iron Mountain. Of course, that is because they have cleared out through a lot of the overnight. And of course, that has a lot to do with the ice cover on the lakes up there. The one lake really in our area not seeing the ice cover yet, well, that would be Lake Michigan, which is why we still have a little cloud cover around and why we also still have a little bit of lake effect snow. We are dealing with these bands of lake effect snow from time to time today, kind of like the last couple of days. And like the last couple of days, it's going to be a little chilly. 21 degrees is your high today in Lansing, 22 in Jackson. Factor in the winds this afternoon, we feel like we're in the single digits. A little bit more snow is expected tonight, but it's out of here by tomorrow. By Friday, our highs are in the mid-30s. Should be pushing into the 40s this weekend with some rain showers around Saturday night and Sunday.
Looking a lot more like spring in the 7-day.
By the time we get into the weekend. Still feeling like January today.
Well, yeah, but we'll get there. All right, thank you, Jim. And we're going to toss it over to Bob and Mary on the Morning Blend. We'll be back with more news on Fox 47. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
Thanks for joining us on the Morning Blend. Wendy Tybus joins us today, the president and founder of Get Movin', your fundraising experts. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm so delighted to be here.
So what's new with Get Movin', your fundraising experts?
Well, Get Movin's been in business for the last 12 years. We were formerly the Get Movin' crew, and we used to go to schools and perform fun run style fundraisers, and a lot of the Lansing area schools have used our program in the past. Well, about 3 years ago, we started morphing over into just an online component for schools. So we've grown into multiple states. We're currently in 48 states and raising money all over the country. So we have changed our logo.
It looks fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. And we've changed our name. So we kind of hit a refresh button just to kind of, we're no longer a crew that comes to the school. We're more of a software platform that enables you to collect online donations and do any kind of event that you want for your school.
I love that.
I know. So you can do a fun run, a readathon, a dance-a-thon, a spell-a-thon, whatever kind of a thon you'd like to do, you can use our platform and parents can rally online donation support worldwide. It's
That
fantastic.
is great. And using social media, I bet that really makes a difference.
Yes.
So how has Get Moving impacted Michigan schools?
Well, Michigan schools, in 2018, we raised $3 million just in Michigan.
Wow.
I know, it's fantastic. And then in the Tri-County area here in the Lansing area, we have actually raised $300,000, so 10% of the Michigan, total raised is right here in the Tri-County area.
That is huge.
Yeah.
So I know that Get Moving will be at the PTO Today Expo in Lansing, which is March 21st, coming right up, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I know you've got free passes, Wendy, so tell us more about that.
Great. So PTO Today is a great resource for any PTA, PTO, or parent-teacher organization of any kind, friends, whatever you want to call it. And they have all kinds of great online resources, and they also have an expo tour, if you will, that goes all across the country. And we go to every show. So we are lucky enough to have one coming right here to the Lansing area on March 21st. And if anybody in Michigan wants to attend, they can, and we have free passes for them. All they have to do is register at the PTO Today website, and they would also use the code FREE-SHOW, F-R-E-E show.
Okay,
Yeah?
wonderful. Well, thanks so much. You are a ball of energy. Get Moving sounds spectacular. And of course, we've got all the information on the screen for you. So get moving and go to the website or make a phone call. That's all of our time for now on the Morning Blend.
This Friday evening, the Messiah Lutheran Church in Holt is hosting a Lenten fish fry. Guests can enjoy dinner and a homemade piece of pie and conversation. It runs from 4:30 to 6:30. We'll have more local events and things to do right here on Fox 47. If you have an event you want to share, send us an email aroundtown@fox47news.com. Well, the Michigan Lottery has played a big role in funding education in our state, which is why it has teamed up with Fox 47 News to recognize excellent educators statewide. Here's this week's Excellence in Education Award winner.
Kevin Bidwell won an Excellence in Education Award. Kevin, I have a letter from your nominator, and it says, I'm hoping to recognize a teacher that heavily influenced my path in life. I'm just one example, and I know of so many former classmates who have had and are going on to become engineers, welders, or related fields. Why do you do what you do?
Well, it's make a difference in a young person's life. It's amazing. Those kids work hard every day. You know, they work hard for what they achieve, and it shows in their work. I mean, it's great to have them to show that they're successful in the life that or the career that they chose.
Well, Kevin receives a $1,500 check from the Michigan Lottery, and his class at Heritage High School receives a $500 grant.
Excellence in Education Awards, sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, providing more than $22 billion to public education since 1972.
If you know of an excellent educator in your district who you'd like to see win this award, head to our website, fox47news.com. You can find the nomination form under the News tab. Just click on Excellence in Education. Well, how long does it take for a herd of elk to cross the road? I swear this isn't a riddle because it turns